Hello, testing.
We're rolling. Get a good coffee for you.
From the land of waist-deep snow and where everybody wears beards, it's Trigger Warning Fun Time Show. I don't even know what episode this is, but we've been together for a long time.
14.
Episode 14.
There are more people in this room without beards than with beards.
That's accurate.
Yeah, we got 2 beards.
I just shaved my mustache, though, so I want to get credit for at least what I had going on.
I don't even think you can legally call that a mustache.
Well, guess what? I got a brand new license photo taken while I had that thing, and I colored it in. So if you ever see a wanted sign with me on it, it's going to be that picture.
Man,
Colored it in like a thick, like a state trooper stash or what?
No, I got the same stuff that Jack uses to dye his beard. And
this is all natural, sir.
No, because I've seen it. It's baby blonde. It's disgusting. And I filled it in, and I used the men's hair tonic is what it would sit on the bottle, and it smelled a lot like ammonia.
So during Movember, Babyface there had been growing in his beard, and by the end of the month, it was just a patchy nonsense. And then you shaved, but you left the stash for the Christmas party, the company Christmas party.
And that was a mistake. Everyone will tell you it's not a good mustache. I can't grow facial hair. I can get a real good neck beard going, but it takes many months. What I ended up with was the thinnest, blondest mustache ever. It looked like
you touch kids.
Yeah, a little bit.
And people didn't notice it right away, right? From like across the room, you couldn't tell. But then when you got closer, you'd be like, "What is that on your lip?" And you'd think it was like maybe some dirt or something.
Were you eating some Nilla wafers earlier today?
And then you'd get really close and you'd be like, "Oh, it's hair. Is that supposed to be there?"
And I found myself playing with it a lot, like constantly brushing it with my finger. And so it looked like I was smelling my finger for a week, just constantly.
Better than going around asking people to smell your finger. Hey, smell my finger. What does it smell like? Meanwhile,
Or pull his finger.
Yeah, meanwhile, Ozzy and Jack Spade have full, thick, luxurious beards.
I don't know.
We could
I'd
only
really
dream of growing.
Call mine thick and luxurious. It's
I will call mine thick and luxurious.
yes.
Yeah.
You have a man beard. I'm just
Thanks.
a starter kit.
You both have very terrorist beards. If I'm gonna put my finger on it,
I will.
I think you can.
I will say this: if you and I, if you had your little whatever the hell was on your lip,
Yeah. His name is Terry, by the way.
Terry, okay,
Yeah, Terry the mustache.
If you grow Terry back, let's take a flight together, and I guarantee you will get pulled on the watch list before I do.
That's only because we're in a world where we feel guilty about judging people by their looks. They're like, "Oh, you better take that pudgy all-American guy over there because we don't want to seem like we're profiling it all." But listen, really wand that guy once or twice too on his way through.
I feel like the beard has become so dominant now. Is that just up in the upper Midwest here, or beards everywhere?
I think
It's
it's
a hip
everywhere.
thing
It's
right now.
it's
People
totally a
love
hipster
beards.
thing.
Yeah, you're a couple of hipsters.
No, see,
And these guys were rocking the beard long before hipster was even
I would
a
never accuse these two.
term.
And here's the thing, here's how you can spot a hipster beard having person. I've seen these ads now for Christmas ornaments for your beard.
Yes,
If you
little
put one of those
Christmas
in your
balls.
beard, you are a goddamn hipster. If you see 2 people with a beard and one of them has those stupid little things in them, don't ask them for help changing your tire because they don't know how to do it.
And they've got it all nice and curled up on the
They're actually
handlebar
they
mustache.
keep beard and mustache wax in their back pocket.
Right.
They're a hipster.
Mm-hmm.
That's such an old-timey thing that was able to come back. You know that there's a company where it's my grandfather, invented this mustache wax, and the company is going down. They've laid off everyone but 2 guys, and they're like, "Oh God, if only there was a way that we could find people who needed more mustache wax." And then the hipsters came and saved the business, and now that guy is like, "I live in Rio, having a good time." I will say this about your beards, though, gentlemen. They do look very manly. I mean, if you were going to put the four gentlemen here in a line, in order of manliness, I know that I would fall at the end because first of all they go okay, beards, you guys, and then that Rod Stewart looking guy, you next, and whatever
Babyface.
you are over there.
I don't know. Right now you're rocking overalls, and that might jump you up a notch.
Let me tell you something. You wear overalls into the wrong part of West Fargo, you get jumped pretty bad. I'm telling you.
Or if you wear them into the right part of West Fargo, you're now a cattle farmer.
Yeah, right? Is that meat packing plant still open in West Fargo?
Sure is.
Sure smells like it.
I've always wanted to go there.
The meat packing
Like
plant?
into the plant?
Yeah. Do you guys want to hear a gross story?
Yep.
Please.
Okay. I was up visiting our good friend Shelly, and Shelly's roommate Lauren works in the meat sciences lab at NDSU. She's an adjunct professor. And so Lauren says, "You guys see this gross thing we had in class the other day?" Now, when a meat science major tells you that they're going to show you something gross, you know you're in for a doozy. Well, she showed me these pictures. They had been cutting a side of beef, and they cut, and they were like, "Oh, that's weird. Why'd the saw like jiggle all weird there?" Well, the cow had an abscess, and then a giant cyst had grown in it, and the cyst was probably like the size of Burrito Supreme's head. And it's all gray and gross, and so
The
like
cyst or her head?
Both.
Okay.
So then they're like, "Oh, let's scoop it out." So then there's all these pictures of them like scooping this giant cyst out and then cutting open the cyst, and then all the kids taking selfies with it. And I was like, "Oh my god, that's disgusting." And she goes, "Yeah, you want to know what's even worse? Nobody was like, 'Oh, I'm going vegetarian.' Everyone afterwards was like, 'I gotta go get a burger.'"
And they're
So-
taking selfies with the cyst?
Yeah, they're taking cysties.
Sisters.
That's one time you're really glad they don't have smell-o-vision either, because good lord, the smell from that would be hideous.
Did you guys know, kind of a fun fact, Rob Zombie, the most gory director out there right now, is a vegetarian because he watched a video when he was in school about a meat processing plant and how they do that. And he's just like, "Oh, gross, I'm never eating meat again."
Really?
What?
Really? He's a vegetarian?
Yeah, he's like straight up vegetarian, like straight vegan, doesn't eat meat, chicken, fish, like any of that.
He makes these beefy torture porn horror movies.
Beefy torture porn, yes. That's exactly how I would describe his latest Opus 31.
I think
I haven't
that-
seen that. Is that the one with the clowns in it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ish.
pretty good.
I think every vegetarian should have a good story of why they became a vegetarian. You know, like my girlfriend's dad worked in a slaughterhouse for a summer to put himself through college, and he said, "You know, it's all everything else is fine, but the thing that bothered me the most was the vat where they make the hot dogs, because you know it's all the pieces of the animals that you don't want boiled down into like a jelly." And he goes, "This giant boiling vat, and all these snouts were like floating and bobbing at the top." And he goes, "Nope, that's it. I won't eat that." And he also will not eat those little tiny mints, like the ones that you get after dinner with the like little stripes in them, because one time he's went into a mint factory and saw a guy stirring it, and you have to stir this big pot, and he's sweating into the mints, and so he calls them sweat mints. And I was like, "Well, I'm still gonna eat it anyway. It's delicious."
That's good sweat mint.
That's what
Yummy.
gives it the flavor. Also, there is not one. I could watch hot dogs being made all day long, and I'm still gonna eat them.
While eating a hot dog?
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
I could eat it. Now it gives more mustard over here.
The cheaper, the better on a hot dog, too.
Oh
I feel.
yeah, boiled.
Yep, fun dogs.
Can you eat those like red ones, like the ones that like look really, really red? I could never eat one of those.
No, I don't. I've never had one. It's
They're like the cheapest dogs there are, too. I
and
feel like
too
99
much.
cents a
Too
pack.
much like a penis for me. I'm sorry.
Maybe that's why I like them more.
You need to go to a hospital if that's what your penis looks like. You're in major trouble.
That's the kind that we get all the time here. Like when we have hot dog Fridays, they're almost always the ones with the red dye in it. Which used to be a tradition, like on the East Coast when hot dogs started. We looked this up one day because we're like, why are they doing this to the
why do you
hot
think that
dogs?
makes it look
But
appetizing.
because they used to be gray, like they were gray when they were made, very unappetizing. So they started putting red dye in it. And now, even though we have other colorings and other hot dogs are colored differently, some people still use the red dye. So you're just eating red dye 40. I don't care.
I'm surprised that like Oscar Mayer's ever been like, "Hey, we should do like the Heinz guys did and like purple hot dogs or like a rainbow colored pack of hot dog," because that's when I would finally like throw it at you two and say, "You eat these. You
I-
tell me that
I
you could
would.
you stomach this bright orange one and a purple one and a
Wouldn't
blue
bother
one."
Well,
me
looks
a
too much
bit.
like a penis.
Told you.
You guys, it's almost Christmas. Let's talk about our worst holiday that we've ever had. Let's get serious in here. Now,
All right.
Mr. Spade,
Yes, sir.
you hate Christmas to begin with.
I do.
Bah humbug.
I'm not a fan.
And so tell me why. Were you molested on Christmas? or-
Actually, yeah.
Or were you not molested and all the other kids were?
Got dark real fast.
There's gonna be some tears here. No, actually, when I was about like 10, I think 8, 9, 10 in that range, my parents decided to tell me that I was adopted at Christmas time, and I'm like, oh, well, all right, well, fuck Christmas, I guess.
That is.
They shared that with you at Christmas time.
Yeah, that's when they thought. And to be fair, I think my mom kind of freaked out and jumped the gun a little bit because my adoptive family are all like fat blonde people, and I'm like a tall dark-haired kid, and I'm starting to put things together, and I'm like, wait a minute. This doesn't seem right. And then they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, you're adopted. Here's some wrestling action figures. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Is that also why you don't like seeing Randy Macho Man Savage? Just you think about like, brother, you're adopted.
That was more of a Hulk Hogan, by the by. But I don't like Hulk Hogan. But Randy Savage, I'm a big fan of. Wrestling, I still like. Christmas is still dumb.
What if they had a Christmas wrestling special?
I'm pretty sure that they have. Like usually every year around Christmas
The Yule
time,
Brawl.
Yeah, usually every time around Christmas, someone dressed up as Santa comes out, and Stone Cold Steve Austin used to come out and just give him a Stone Cold Stunner and
Whoop some ass.
It was
in the ring.
great, yeah.
Right.
Ain't got time for that Santa bullshit.
How about you, Burrito Supreme? What's your worst holiday?
I usually have wonderful holidays. My family really gets along. But when I was 4 years old, my father did tell me that Santa wasn't real. So
At 4?
That's too young.
4 years old. I was being annoying. We were in the car, and I was talking about, like, do you think Santa's going to give me this? Do you think he's going to give me this? Like, I can't imagine, like, how annoying I was as a child, because I still am pretty annoying. And so I think my dad, like, it just, like, he had too much, too long of a car ride, and he was like, Santa's not even real.
Boom.
Silence.
Or do you think he was just broke and couldn't afford extra Christmas presents that year and was like, I have it. I'm going to tell her Santa's fake.
No, because we still got presents from Santa, and we still do get presents from Santa. That's like what Christmas Day is. Like, all your gifts in the stocking are all from Santa. You get like a little package from Santa. Even my dad buys himself stuff from Santa. Like, if there's something he wants, like, he's like, oh, Santa got me another remote control helicopter.
But do you find now that you're getting older, are you getting more practical things from Santa? Like toilet paper, things like that.
Plan B.
I wish. No. Usually Santa gives me like a gift card. Yeah.
Because now that my children are getting older, they started getting more practical gifts, and they actually appreciate it because they live on their own now. They don't have to go out and buy toilet paper,
Right.
Utensils for the kitchen.
Get 'em a
things
nice
Like,
Great
if my
for
parents got me like a Costco membership, that would be like the best gift, But instead, I'll just use theirs.
We get a Santa bag every year, and in that Santa bag is all practical stuff. So it's like the big package of Q-tips and some chapstick and stuff like that. And I mean, it's a whole big bag full of stuff. And I realized the other day, like, I don't think I've ever purchased Q-tips myself, but I've had Q-tips for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
At my disposal anytime I want them.
I think in my early 20s before I realized that you could actually buy pillows. I was just assumed you were requisitioned or issued one when you were young, and that was the pillow that you took with you for the rest of your life.
What? Gross. You'd had your pillow for 20 years?
I don't know. I suppose my mom replaced it at one point, and then I'd never realized it. But when I moved out, I took my pillow, and then one day shopping, I'm like, oh, they got pillows here? Oh, you can buy these? I just thought that was something you always had, I don't think I've ever really had a bad holiday. I
haven't
really
had
enjoy
awful holidays.
Christmas.
Yeah, I love spending time with the family. I don't decorate or do any of that stuff. I think that is lame. I think it's like, for me, like, I don't always make my bed in the morning either, because I think it's a waste of time. And I feel the same way about decorating for any holiday. You have to store it somewhere. It takes up a bunch of space that could be used for other things and other activities. And then you got
activities.
So much room for activities. And you spend the time putting it up. And here it's always super cold and gross, like if you're hanging lights on the outside of your house. And then you got to take them down.
Have to take them down.
True. You could leave them up year round.
And be that neighbor.
Yep.
Everyone goes, oh, Jesus Christ, take your goddamn lights down.
Or you could be the neighbor who, like, for every single, like, event, they decorate. Halloween decorations, Thanksgiving decorations, Christmas decorations.
Like the big inflatable St. Patrick's Day stuff in their yard. It's like, where did you even get that?
That being said, there is a 1.5 story tall inflatable marshmallow man
Like
from
Stay Puft
Ghostbusters.
Marshmallow? Oh,
Yeah,
really?
that you can get at Lowe's that was like $200 right before Halloween, and I think it's on sale now for like $70. I'm really thinking about getting that. Really thinking about being that guy on the block.
I've got
Just keep it up year round.
my my next door neighbor. We live in like duplexes and stuff. So not the neighbor that lives on the other side of me, but the one that lives in the next house over. On one half, they love Christmas decorating, so that their house is like completely decked out, and the other side never puts up anything. And it still looks like the saddest house. It looks like it just got halfway done, and they're like, fuck it.
I know what my worst Christmas was for sure, and I don't often talk about it, but I will with you guys because I feel like we're a family.
All right, cue up the violins here.
So when I was younger, my dad had to work late on Christmas, which was not unheard of. But that year he had promised us for sure that he was going to be home right away on Christmas, and so we waited, and 6 o'clock, no dad. 7 o'clock, no dad. And so we're like, well, where is he? Never bothers to show up at all on Christmas. So it was a real bummer. Next day, still no dad. We're starting to get a little worried, and so then. I'm not sure what's going on, so I decided to go and I'm going to light a fire in the fireplace, and I got this weird smell, and I thought it was maybe a bird or a cat that had gotten stuck in the chimney. And the firemen came and they smashed open the chimney, and there my dad was, dressed like Santa Claus. Had broken his neck.
That would be sad if it in fact happened to you.
What do you mean?
You are no Phoebe Cates.
Oh, all right. Well, let me tell you about the time that my dad went crazy and put all these Christmas lights on the house, okay?
Okay.
And then our crazy cousin Eddie came over. No, most of my holidays revolve around movies, and I always got super jealous of the great Christmas events that took place in the movies. Like Christmas Vacation, I think looks awesome. Like they had a lot of fun, a lot of family. Muppet Family Christmas, where they all go to Fozzie Bear's mom's like country place, that looked awesome to me. And so I was always just super jealous of everybody else.
How come my life doesn't measure up to
Right.
that? Why do my
I gotta go
Christmas
eat
measure up?
fucking Fruit Cup and Ludafisk. You gotta be shitting me.
I'd rather be hanging out with Fozzie Bear.
Yeah, exactly. And that snowman.
So if you could live through one Christmas movie, what would it be?
Oh, that is a great idea. If I could live through one Christmas movie, Die Hard.
I was gonna say Die Hard.
Die Hard, without a doubt.
I'll be
What?
John McClane, and you'll be.
I'll be Carl Winslow.
You'll be Carl
Yeah.
Winslow.
That
That's a
sounds
good
fine to me.
combo.
Yeah.
All right, deal.
I think I would be teaming up with Robert Culp fighting Goldberg's version of Santa in Santa's Sleigh. That's the one I'd be in. Have you seen Santa's Sleigh?
Unfortunately, yes.
You liked it. Come on. You know you did.
I liked it in a way that I feel bad for liking.
What? We trot that one out every year, and it's a very funny movie. There's a lot of good people in it. Dave Thomas, Goldberg. I'm surprised that doesn't turn you on.
Chris Kattan.
Yeah. Fran Drescher.
It's marks of quality all across the board.
Nope.
No,
Ozzy,
you
Nothing
don't
for
even
super
watch
fan
Christmas
Ozzy.
music?
He doesn't like Christmas movies at all. He's like, I'd rather be in Bachelor Party.
Wouldn't you?
There are Christmas movies that I think people forget are Christmas movies. For example, Jurassic World technically takes place over Christmas.
Good call.
You know, what's another one that people forget? Well, like
Any
Gremlins.
Shane Black movie.
Yeah. Oh, like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah.
Great Christmas movie.
Long
Iron
Kiss
Man
Goodnight,
3.
Iron Man 3.
Did his last one? Did The Nice Guys? Was that a Christmas one? It must have been. It was just L.A.
Yeah, that was holiday sort of themed, I thought.
I like the holidays, and I love like the
too.
holiday specials and everything like that. I'm waiting for a really good variety show special.
Bill
though.
Murray Christmas special on Netflix is really good.
That was super fun last
That
year.
was fun, yeah. Somebody else has to do that.
I would like to live through Office Christmas Party, which we just saw last
Nice.
Friday.
Was that good?
So good. So much fun. A lot of good yucks.
Because they let everybody do what they're good at in that movie. Kate McKinnon and Rob Corddry.
Yep.
I mean, they all kind of get to play their suited roles, and they just
Jason
get to be funny.
Bateman.
Yeah, well-written
TJ
movies. so many
Miller
funny
even
people.
I think does a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
And usually I'm just sort of like I put up with TJ Miller.
Or he's really good at like supporting the other people around
Yeah.
him, like on Silicon Valley.
Yep. No, the Office Christmas Party was a ton of fun, which is good because we needed like a good Christmas movie for this year because Scotch and I saw Bad Santa, and while it had a couple, oh my God, laughs, for the most part it was ho-hum.
Adequate movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing great.
And then are there any other Christmas movies that are coming out? Oh, the like Nearly Christmas, but that one really wasn't for our demographic. It was more like the Medea.
It's an urban film.
I wouldn't even say that because I don't feel like urban audiences would identify with this family living in a $2 million home.
They were a little more Cosby.
Yeah, there you go. If you identified with the Cosby cast, that's where it's at.
Let me promote a movie that you should buy throughout December here. I'm just going to give a brief review of Killjoy's Psycho Circus. And have you guys seen any of the Killjoy franchise?
No.
This is a franchise that actually started out to be like an urban horror series. The first one was from a sub-label of Full Moon, and it takes place in the hood, and it's almost like a Candyman where they use voodoo and they bring this clown demon back to life. And the second one, same thing. It's a bunch of kids from like a juvenile detention center that get stuck out in the woods, and they use this voodoo to bring
My
the clown
grandmother's
demon
gonna love this
for
Blu-ray.
revenge. So, but the third movie, you got this director, Trent Haga takes over. John Lashago takes over, and Trent Haga takes over the role as Killjoy. And they're just funny, nutty, crazy movies. And this third one is really good. It's like a late night talk show. And Killjoy is the psycho clown, and Beelzebub has to come back from hell and try and drag Killjoy back to hell, and there's spaceships in it, and some of my drawings are in it too.
Oh, I see how
A
it
couple
is.
of my cartoons in the movie, but it's very good. It's
It
very
really
entertaining.
does sound like a metaphor for the story of Jesus.
It is. It's
Yeah.
I would say it's something perfect for the holidays, like the Nativity.
All right, what's it called again?
Killjoy's Psycho Circus.
And where can you get it?
But I would recommend seeing like the trilogy that John Lashago directed and see Killjoy 3, then Killjoy Goes to Hell, and then follow it up with Killjoy's Psycho
What's the
Circus.
runtime on these things? Like 20 minutes a pop?
I think they're usually about 70 minutes. This last one was like a full hour and a half.
well, I mean, I definitely want to watch it. I want to
Full moon
support you.
features,
So.
full moon features, good stuff.
And how much do they pay you for this?
Actually, I got in the mail a Full Moon mystery box, which is kind of like, what Loot Crate is, right?
Yep.
This is like Full Moon's version of it. So I got this package in the mail, and in it there were DVDs, and I got like a copy of their Delirium magazine, and I got like a Trancers magnet. It was really cool.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
It makes me want to subscribe to something like Loot Crate. Do you get cool stuff in that?
Oh yeah, because you don't have enough stuff already.
Well, I have. I always want to get that Full Moon box, but I've already got like all the Full Moon
Yeah.
stuff. So, I mean, Loot Crate, what do they have in theirs?
Don't you do
Well,
one?
Yeah, so I get the Loot Crate, and it started out really cool, and now it's just kind of. There's usually like one awesome item in there, and then it's just like kitschy bullshit that you'd see like standing in line at Toys R Us, and you're like, hey, you want to buy one of these? They're on clearance.
Oh,
And so yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Like I think the last T-shirt that I got in there, I gave to Burrito.
That's right.
It was a fantastic Beast and Where to Find Them shirt, and I'm just like, eh. But then there was a really cool Doctor Strange figure in there, so I kept that.
So it's like action figures and mugs and T-shirts and things like that.
Yeah, okay, like they do a theme every month. I don't know what other subscription boxes do, but Loot Crate does a theme every month. So one month the theme was speed. So the T-shirt came with like a Tony Stark racing shirt. There was a little hood ornament that you could put on the hood of your car that was the Flash. Just kind of silly.
That would look great on my car.
Maybe we should start one of those for the Trigger Warning podcast.
Yes.
Think that, and we could just be like, we'll all spit into a jar.
Yep.
Hey, I got a spit jar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tupperware filled with farts.
And a fart.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a little something too. I feel like Loot Crate's nice because at least you can tell them what size of T-shirt you want.
Yeah.
When I re-upped my subscription to Entertainment Weekly, I don't know who the hell they think is reading this magazine, but they sent me like a size large. And I was like, most of your listener base is XL plus, at the very least. You better get some major fabric distributors in on that Entertainment Weekly stuff. And so I had to give Burrito a really sweet Batman shirt.
Super sweet.
Because if I tried to put it on, it would just constantly roll up above my tummy, and then it would look like I'm wearing a tube top. And not that that's not sexy as hell, but I just wanted people to appreciate the art.
How many men wear a large? I mean, girls and children wear a medium or a large,
Yeah.
maybe, and then I would say most men are a
Girls and
2X.
children.
At least, yeah, exactly.
An extra large or
Comfortably.
2X.
Yeah.
Unless you're a skinny hipster with a puss beard.
Yeah.
With a puss beard.
My ladies' jeans can't fit my little tiny can of mustache wax in there. It's too tight on my buttocks.
Do you ever get this since you're married? And she's right here, so I'll put it gently. Do her pants not have pockets sometimes? And can you put these in your pockets or hold this for me? I don't have any
know.
pockets.
I think your pants have pockets, don't they?
No, my skinny jeans don't
Her
have pockets.
skinny jeans
Her
don't have
skinny
pockets.
jeans don't
yeah.
have pockets, yeah.
Occasionally.
My wife started doing that recently. A lot of
Oh.
her pants don't have pockets. So
Yoga pants
all
don't
of a
have
sudden She just comes
pockets.
up and starts unzipping my pocket on my coat. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Well, you got to hold my phone. I don't have any pockets. It sounds like your problem, not mine.
Right.
But you
Also,
married her, so it is your problems are shared. You know?
Shut up.
Now you're carting around extra keys and lip balm and things like that.
See, I do the opposite. I'm always like, oh, here,
Britta, can you put this in your
Can you
purse?
hold this in your purse? And I think the last time I had Burrito hold my purse, she stole $20 from me.
Hold your purse.
My purse, yeah. I've got a small purse I keep in my pocket.
The man
and
satchel.
Sometimes I want to have someone else hold it.
Your man bag.
But I do that with my keys, especially if I'm going someplace where I know I don't want things in my pockets. You know, like movie theaters, especially those new Dream Loungers, are notorious for eating my keys. And then it's really embarrassing because you've got to get someone to come and help you lift up a chunk of the Dream Lounger so that you can reach underneath and get the keys. It's
Ugh.
horrible.
I've
You never know what
experienced
else
these
you're gonna
problems.
find. When I don't have pockets in my pants, though, I just use my upper pocket, which is my boob shelf.
I don't think that is a true statement. I think that you do that even when you have pockets.
True. Yeah,
You
because it's
just
more
like it.
convenient. Yeah.
Yeah. So if she owes you $5, you better make sure it's not a hot day.
Sweaty $5.
Prepared to hang that thing on the,
Yeah.
on
How
the line.
much stuff do you think you could get in there?
Well, I fit
Like a purse full of items?
Well, the necessary things. Like when I go out and I don't want my purse and I'm wearing a dress or something that doesn't have any pockets, I'll put phone and then I have a little just zip pouch wallet that fits cash and an ID, and then I hook my car key onto that.
Okay.
It's got a little zipper. So I just have my car key and I hook that so that goes in one side, the phone in the other, and then I usually have a stick of chapstick and
That's all in your bra?
yeah, and then cigarettes will go right in the middle.
So let me ask you this.
But
So
the
with-
last time I did that was Halloween, right? Because I didn't have any pockets in the tube,
Inflatable arm man.
inflatable tube man that I was. But I ended up losing my pack of cigarettes at some point with my dance moves. They popped out of my
Well, and isn't
boob
the
shelf.
bra supposed to lend kind of an aesthetic shape to the bosom, too? Don't you end up having hexagonal-looking boobs then?
I guess it depends on what you're wearing over top of it.
What
If
happens
people
if
actually
you get
notice.
busy? And a guy's getting up to second base.
I probably would have emptied out my
And
bra
he's
at that point.
he's like, what the hell is that?
Hey, that's false advertising. You got so much stuff in here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know why you're dating Cheech, but hey, where'd all that stuff come from?
I don't remember the last
Actually,
time.
that's probably pretty close.
Hey now.
Condoms on the left tit.
One time, in fact, we were just reminiscing about this with Burrito about when she worked at that Mexican restaurant, and we were talking about it on a road trip, and we were like, that was so weird because we didn't see you forever, but all we knew is that your new friends constantly were being deported, and so
They were.
I was like, what do they have that we don't?
That's not even a racial joke. They were being deported all the time.
Yeah.
That's
the whole
sad.
entire. There was one deportation, but it was 20 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy.
They threw
That's a lot.
They threw a house party, or an apartment. Well, it wasn't a house. They lived in an apartment, and it got a noise complaint. Well, half of them were illegal, so the police that came there, some of the they couldn't speak English well enough, or they tried not to speak English because they thought that would get them out of it. But then the police immediately called the
They're called
Grand
the Migre.
Forks Border Patrol. and they all got deported.
That probably sucked if it happened like right before your shift.
It did. Well, not like right before, but the next morning I went into work and there was just a note on the door that said, "We're closed today." And then, of course, it was all over the news, and I was like, what the fuck?
Well, at least they didn't try to make you work. You'd be like, sorry, Jorge and Juan and all these guys, they're not coming in because they got deported.
I was
You're
literally the only one left, though, at that point, because I had started working there with a couple other friends, but they weren't working there anymore. So I literally was the only one left.
You're probably
Everyone
on a
else
list somewhere.
got deported, or if they weren't at that party and they didn't actually get deported, they went back down to Arizona because they were worried that they would be deported, right?
And that was the worst holiday
And
ever.
that was the worst holiday ever.
Oh, is that a good wrap up?
That's a
Yeah.
good spot.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for episode 14 of the Trigger Warning Fun Time Show. I am Scratch Masterson.
I'm Babyface Nelson.
I'm Superfan Ozzy.
I'm Jack Spade.
And I'm Burrito Supreme.
We will see you next time. Be back at 2-2.